Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome to today's Partner Brand Education. And we have the lovely Stephanie Clifford Hosking here. She's the educator of Showpony. So thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And Stephie, tell us who you are, what you do, how long you've been with Showpony, and what we can expect today.
Okay, well, first of all, I want to say a huge thank you to Unwritten and the Unwritten community just for having Showpony with you today. I'm thrilled to represent Showpony in that capacity as well. And my biggest aim here is just to support your community with as much knowledge as we can fit in an hour.
If anybody has any questions at all, there's a little chat box at the bottom. You can actually tap on that, write your questions, and then Stephie will actually lead us into, when she's ready to answer them for you. So while Stephie gets that all organised data in there, just thought I'd give a little bit of housekeeping info there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are you ready now, Stephie?
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, and so the way in which I thought might be handy for us to start is to give a little helicopter view of what to expect over the next hour. It's really, really important for me to deliver the best information I can. And so I've thought about the way this should run. Normally we deliver educations over a 4-hour period. So obviously I'm just taking bits and pieces to give you a little bit of a generalized ride over the top, but I'm hoping that there'll be nuggets in there where you'll go, oh, fantastic. And as Mari was saying, if you've got questions, write them in the chat. Like, I can't wait to answer them at the end. I like to do it at the end because over the course of this hour, you might get your question answered. But I want you to know that we welcome the questions and I look forward to answering them. Okay, so the way it's going to go is we'll give you a little brand introduction. We're definitely going to be talking about the hair because that's why we're here. We're going to touch on tape. We're going to touch on the tools that you need, our removers, our residue remover, touch on placement sheets. And also, it'd be really great at the end if someone asked a creative question so we could dive a little bit more into, ways to creatively approach your placement. Okay, so that's, and not to forget, we have a fantastic offer from Unwritten today, which I can't wait to share. We will talk about it at the end. And I actually had a good look at this little starter package from Unwritten, and it's good. It's just got all those basics in there that you need to get started, So yeah, we'll dive into that at the end as well. So Mami, is it okay with you if I start sharing my screen?
Yes, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, Stephie.
Thank you. All right, beautiful. Can everybody see that clearly?
Yes, yep.
Wonderful. Okay, so first of all, I love to start these educations by reminding everybody that we are hairdressers. And if you look at that statement on there, empowering people to look and feel beautiful, it's pretty much what makes us get happy and excited when we're on the floor looking after our guests. And I got to say, it's the same with us here at Showpony. We do this for the same reasons, to empower that incredible change that happens when you know you're doing something really good for someone and you can see how amazing they feel at the end. And so I love this screen because it's just a reminder that we're in this with you and you with us. With Showpony, we're definitely about partnerships, support, collaborations, and so we're with you. A little background is Showpony definitely began from the world of fashion, right? Inspired from everywhere from bridal weeks to any conventions, massive ambassador shows. We are the partner of choice for international artists and influencers and global ambassadors. So we're thrilled about that. And we believe that them choosing us shows us, it tells us that the standard that we believe we're outputting is true. And so we are very proud of that. We're always looking globally about in and around about kind of creativity and new things or market demands. So we're definitely trying to match products or new products with what we see as evolving. So that's exciting as well. We're definitely renowned for exceptional quality, discreet and undetectable natural looking hair transformations. And can I just add, even though that is definitely us in the pocket, we also do cool stuff with Vivids. And Belle from Pipsqueak in Saigon, who's one of our ambassadors, is a classic example of the versatility of Showpony hair extensions. So if you don't follow her, give her a follow, Belle at Pipsqueak in Saigon. We're proud about our sustainability and our ethical sourcing. I think it's really important to understand that our standards are so high in that way. And Nadine, our general manager, along with Kevin Murphy, always working together to elevate our sustainability and our ethical sourcing. So that I feel really proud to work with. And I think as a consumer, as hairdressers purchasing our product, it's really good for you to know that as well. Okay, so pretty much we've established that what we do is to make people feel really good, and the backstory behind that is a really good, ethical, sustainable story as well. All right. So why do our customers buy? And so this is something that you can start to think about when you look at this list. It's like, what speaks to you? Is it safety? And that is safe premium installs. Showpony definitely sits in that pocket. It's really important to us that we're putting in a product into the hair that enhances and elevates. So we're very careful about our placement and the research behind the processes of how we install. Or maybe it's the quality that's really important to you. We have a 6-step quality assurance program that constantly delivers top shelf hair. So even before it even reaches the opportunity to purchase, that product has been through the hoops. Does it matter to you that it's on trend? You know, are you someone that's creative and you're really happy with our color range? Is it the sustainability factors? We always have a focus on reducing environmental impact. We are proud that we were the first sustainably packaged hair extension brand globally. I do think we are trailblazers in everything that we do. All of our methods are reusable, and we encourage the reuse of our products wherever possible. In fact, I get the luxury of visiting salons all the time, and I tell you what, I hear some very cool things about how our hair is reused. So it could be that, or maybe it's about how influential the name is. I think when you hear the name Showpony, it definitely brings up that feeling of premier brand. Now, this last one, this is definitely one of my favorites, and that is, it's for everyone. Now, what does that mean? Just think inclusive, okay? Our hair extensions are for everyone, whether it's a guy who's got a long mullet, whether it's someone that needs to solve density because they had an incident with medication months prior, or whether they're in their 50s or 60s and losing density, or whether it's someone that needs length to hide a haircut, or they just want length, color, volume. Whatever it is, we like to believe that we can solve those problems. So I pretty much love those pillars. Now we're getting into the good stuff here. What our product can help you do with your guests is when you hear them say things like, my hair isn't growing, or I want to fringe, or I've had a chemical haircut, or I want to highlight my hair but I don't want to color it. We could go on and on. But when you're really listening to your guests, I got to say, it's probably 80 to 90% of people that would be suitable for this product. And it means that those guests you can elevate and service, and they're going to feel fantastic. All right. So, right method, right client. This is super important to understand that if you think of Showpony talks about safety and premium installs. Okay, now the way in which we arrive at safety is it means we're matching density. Okay, so what we're doing is making sure that we are matching the right product with the right guest's hair. You can imagine if you're putting a product on someone's hair it's too heavy for them, you're running into all kinds of issues as far as it being too heavy, and all of the challenges that might come along with that. That's one example. And we don't want to get into that arena. That's not where we want to be. Where we want to be is a guest that's happy, they feel incredible, and they know that they can use the product for as long as they want to use it. So today we're focusing on Showpony tape extensions, and the density that perfectly matches that is fine to medium. So fine to medium hair, this is the product for you. However, it's important to note that Showpony tape extensions can run through any kind of density of hair. You just need more of them. I hope that makes sense. So inside our portfolio, which you can see there, we have two kinds of tape. We have a slimline tape. Now, slimline tape, it's got a fantastically low profile. And if you're not sure what I mean by that, if you picked up the tape and looked at it on the side, like how low it sits to the head, we call that a profile. So it has a fantastic low profile, first thing to note. It blends flawlessly with the natural hair. And of course, it's made from the finest quality Remier Plus. It comes in 14-inch, 20-inch, and 24-inch. And we've got up to 25 colours to choose from. Now, slimline tape's perfect for any kind of install, whether you need length or you need volume or colour or all of it, or just to fill out a corner through the front, or just a little pop of colour in all the right places. Slimline tape is perfect for that. Again, reusable, slimline, and undetectable. Now,
I'm sorry to interrupt. Has your slide changed yet? The slide is the slide I'm looking at is Salon Success Plan Phase 2. Have you changed your slide since then?
Yeah, a lot.
Oh, yeah.
What's happening on your end at the moment?
No.
Can you see?
It's just on that slide there. Maybe you can yeah, there we go. Okay, now it's changing. Yep.
Yeah, I just jumped out, so I'm just going to jump back in. Did everybody get to see right method, right client?
Have only just jumped onto that right method, right client slide now. Oh, I know what's happened, Stephie. So you've got the screen share on that particular window where it's got, does that make sense? But you're looking at a different window, whereas it's still on the other window in screen share. You're welcome to just stay on this window here. Now it's on the Showpony title page. You're welcome to just stay in here, just in case, yeah.
You can do that, whatever's easy.
Yeah, there we go.
At least this way I can control it a little bit more. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, okay, great. So let's move down to where I was. Okay, so sounds like people didn't get to see our premium slimline tape slide. So here it is again. It's got all the essential information that you need to know about making decisions between why would I purchase slimline tape or this guy, skin weft tape. Now, the skin weft tape collection is the most discreet form of tape hair with us. We believe it's the most discreet on the market because our hair let's see, the best way I can describe how skin weft tape looks is that it appears like it's growing out of the bond. In that way, it's so undetectable. But the beautiful thing about our skin weft tape is it too has a low profile. And so that you're not getting that bulk at the root, which I think is pretty cool. Now, in this range, we have 26 colours that include the ombre range for us. Our ombres are absolutely beautiful if you've had a chance to have a look at them. It's honestly pretty hard to choose between them all sometimes, which is another conversation because I kind of encourage that when you're colour matching to jump around your dimensional colour choices, but I digress. Okay, so we are talking about super slim tape bonds. It sits flush to the scalp and lays perfectly flat. So it's super comfortable as well. That's important to note. Now, in skin weft tape, we've got 14-inch and 20-inch. Again, suitable for all hair types, but in the pocket for small to medium. Fine to medium. So perfect for partial applications as well. Reusable, slimline, undetectable. Each piece of our tapes, whether it's slimline or skin weft, are all 4 centimetres across. It's important to note that you can do cool things with these 2 types of tapes as well. You can combine them in the same sandwich. So you might use one piece of the skin weft tape and one piece of the slimline tape for different reasons. And I probably just want to touch on that a little bit. If you can imagine you have a guest that's very price conscious, then you could definitely jump to slimline tape for them. If that was their main discussion point, then you would know that slimline tape, being at a slightly lower price point because the manufacturing process is not as complicated, the hair is the same, right? We're still talking about premium Remy A+ hair. It's just the bond section is slightly different. What about if you had a guest that was price conscious, but they had very fine hair, and so your biggest aim was to use skin weft tape on the top so that when their hair separated, that they would be seeing undetectable skin weft tape. You could do a slimline tape underneath and skin weft on the top for that guest through that area, yeah? But then all through the back, just simply use slimline tape. That's an example of how you could mix it up for different people. I do just want to add our new product. I'm not going to spend much time on this because we're not talking about weft today, but this product it falls in the same density. So this is perfect for fine to medium hair, and it partners beautifully with tape. So I felt it was important for us to mention this. It's available in 20 inches, perfect for fine to medium hair, 24 colours including ombres. So we did that intentionally so our superfine weft would match our tapes, so you could use them in a mixed method format. And that might mean that you would use some tapes higher up and further to the front with the superfine weft underneath. So I just want to touch on that. How are we going, Mummy? Can you see my slides okay?
I can, thank you.
Great. All right, so important to note, what kind of tools do we need if we want to get started with this? Well, it's not complicated, I promise you. If you think from the ground up, okay, we need a tail comb, we need our sectioning clips. We do use single prong pin curl clips here at Showpony often with all of our methods, so you might want to get a tub of those. Our paddle brushes. So the little tiny one that you can see on screen, I affectionately term as our handbag brush. It's so versatile and handy, literally. In the handbag, and they're designed to have a dual, they've got a dual bristle. So there's a nylon tall bristle and then a shorter ball bristle. And what that does is it stops snagging. Very, very handy to have, and it's always in the take-home bag for the guests after their first install. The larger paddle brush is what you would use to blow wave while you're prepping. Obviously, you need the hair, you need the tape remover and the residue remover, and our colour book. So if we can just chat for a little bit about our residue remover and also our tape remover spray. Both are obviously essential for the 4, 5 or 6 week return when you've got to remove the tape out of the hair. So you'll see that larger bottle there, which is our tape remover spray. That's pretty much what you would use 90% of the time. And then the shorter bottle, that's our Showpony residue remover. You would use that when you're in a situation where there's some residue that for whatever reason it has been held in the hair or left in the hair. That product is an oil-based product, so you use it sparingly, right on where the residue is. and you can just gently comb that residue out. So those two are like a plan A, plan B product, and they're brilliant. They smell nice too, which is important. Okay, so they've got to be on your trolley, and also the tapes. Now, we have a couple, not a couple, we've got a few different tape types, to be honest, and I'm going to dive into those in a moment. But what I also wanted to share with you is some tools that are and accessories that they're not absolutely necessary for you to get started in this, but they are absolutely like handy. Okay. So what I'm talking about is product one, our hair extension holder. It's very, very handy. On the back, it's got 4 suction, kind of plastic suction cups, and that makes it adhere, I guess, to a lot of surfaces, not all, but a lot. Mirror is my favorite. I work off the mirror because I love the client to get the visual experience of the hair near them. But I have also obviously worked from a trolley state, like off my trolley. And so it suctions on and off. So that means that when you remove the hair from the guest, let's say they're having a refit and the rack is full of hair that's been removed, is you can systematically go from left and right through the rack, remove the tape, and then you can peel it off the mirror, take it over to the basin and suction it inside the basin, wash the hair on the rack, squeeze it out, bring it back over to your mirror, and you can blow wave on the mirror, straighten on the mirror, or trolley, whatever you prefer. And then you systematically again go from left to right to retape. Now, I hope I'm explaining this well enough for you to understand what a game changer that is in the removal process especially. We've got very cool tips inside our Showpony education sessions, which helps you remove systematically. And we've got special codes that we write along our rack. So each row that you're removing lives in the same place. So when you're reinstalling, you know exactly where it's come from. Super handy. It stops hair from falling on the floor, from falling out of clips. We used to use clips to organize the hair. We don't need to do that anymore. And so, yeah, once you get your starter pack, if you feel like you want to level it up a little bit, at least you've clapped your eyes on what this product is and what it does. So keep your eye out for that. I think it's super affordable too, by the way. Okay, and also the tape remover tool and blades. Now, this is it's such an amazing product. It's only about this big, right? And it looks like a paint scraper, as if you were going to paint the walls of your house, for example. It's got a little detachable plastic blade, which you can see in the picture. In fact, there's 10 stacked on top of each other to the left of the tool itself. But you use that to scrape. I was trying to think of a nicer word, but you pretty much are scraping off the old adhesive after you've removed them using this tool. And it makes life so much easier and far less sticky and complicated as well. Now, we also sell here at Showpony 10-pack of those blades. I'm still using the same blade after 6 months, and I do this a lot. So that kind of gives you the lifespan of one blade, and you can turn it around on that one blade and use the other side, but you can buy a pack of 10. I imagine that's going to last you a really long time. Okay, let's talk tape. Now, here at Showpony, we have our replacement sheets, which comes in your starter kit, your super strength tape replacement sheets, also in the starter kit from Unwritten. And Marmy, please feel free to chime in if I get something wrong here. And our single-sided tape sheets. We have 2. We have the single-sided tape sheet, version 1, I call it. These were our original single-sided tapes. They're a firmer plastic and shiny. The matte single-sided tape sheets, which is the other tape inside your Unwritten starter pack, are flexible. not shiny, and they're what I call version 2. They are a game changer. Both are popular. It comes down to personal preference, okay? And I'll just duck back up to these guys here. So the white tape sheets that you're seeing, they come in a pack of 60, and they're the tapes that you see on the hair when it arrives to you in our boxes. And so you're just replacing that tape. And that's honestly where most people live. You know, 80, 90% of the time, you're just going to be retaping with our replacement sheets. Now, sometimes you might have a challenge with slippage, and that could be very dependent on if your guest's hair is oily or the lifestyle that they have. For example, a personal trainer there's a lot of sweat. Maybe your guest does hot yoga, or they're in the ocean all the time. These are the lifestyle questions that are covered in our consultation. But if you have consistently tried to solve the slippage problem, and you know your guest client side is looking after things at home using the Showpony shampoo and conditioner, and following the do's and don'ts sheet, if you're not having luck there, you know that you can move to super strength tape sheets. A word to the wise, they take a little bit longer to remove, hence the name. They're super strength. And all that means for you as a salon, as a business, I think, is to consider there's just that incremental little bit extra time that goes on to removal. It's not a big deal. But I think it's important to mention, because as opposed to removal maybe taking 15 minutes, it might take 20. Okay. Now on the end there, you can see the Showpony tape roll. This is not in the starter package, but again, it's part of the tape family, so I'm just going to mention it. It's a 5.5 long roll of like a double-sided tape. You can cut it to whatever size that you want. And it's perfect for editorial work or backstage work. You can recycle hair using this concept. So I don't want you to think that you would use it for bridal hair or anything like that, because, you know, you tug on it and it will come out. It's not for that. It's for those real creative moments where you're doing shoots or catwalks up and back. But my goodness, can you create some incredible ideas using this guy? So if you're a sustainable oriented person as well, you can collect older hair or hair that your guest, you know, it's shedded too much over 12 months and it's time to get rid of that tape. You know, keep it in a bag, because you never know what creative projects you might work on down the track. All right. So these are our 2 single-sided tapes that I was chatting on. All of them have 60 pieces. So you get a good amount of tape in each pack. Okay, this is the do's and don'ts card, which is really good for us to talk through as well, because it's quite educational. When your guest comes in for their first time install, it's really important that you set them up for success when they go home. Yeah. So in the starter pack, you do get a Showpony shampoo and conditioner. I encourage you to calculate that into your starter package price and add in like a do's and don'ts sheet, which is what you're seeing here. This comes in like an A5 card size. It's a very, very nice product. Into the bag. And last but not least, in their take-home bag, I recommend the Showpony small paddle brush, which, as I mentioned before, I call it the handbag brush. That kind of take home for your guest really is setting them up for success client side. After all, it's teamwork, right? We're doing really cool stuff in salon, following structure, procedure, placement sheets, all the Showpony safe techniques. You're doing all the right things for them in salon, so you want them to do the right things at home. And those 2 elements together create a fantastic, positive Showpony hair extension experience that where their product, their hair, it lasts a long time. And so what helps their hair last a long time is taking home that shampoo and conditioner. Now, there's a slide on that next, which I'll dive into in a moment. But these are the simple do's and don'ts that are really good for people to remember. Some of them are common sense, but you can never assume that with all of us when we're learning something new or we're purchasing something new. It's so great to have things listed, what to do and what not to do. So if we look at the do's, we're looking at using the Showpony colour range, the shampoo conditioner range, and we schedule maintenance visits 4, 5 and 6 weeks. Here at Showpony, we never go past 6 weeks. And that's because we believe after 6 weeks that the regrowth that grows away from the scalp is just getting too long. And that means that the hair extension, no matter what method, but especially tape, can flip, twist and swing. And what we don't like about that is tension. Yeah, we want to avoid that kind of tension. And so if you get your guests back at the maximum 6 week mark, then you are sweet. You're going to be, they're going to be looked after, and you're going to be confident that they're going to have a really positive experience at home. Also drying and styling. So we recommend when they're blow waving their hair to never have the heat too close to the adhesive and to always be moving that blow waver around, much like when we're styling their hair and our hair anyway, to prevent heat damage. But secondarily, if you're using a hot tool, it's really important to know that we recommend never going above 185 degrees. And you certainly don't pop the hot tool onto the adhesive area. Can you just hang on one moment? I just really need to understand why this is, sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, can you see my screen again?
Maintenance care card, do's and don'ts.
Love it. Good, that's
Yes.
the one.
Mhm.
We also want the hair to be rinsed immediately after swimming. We just want to rinse out any excess salt or chlorine because that can affect the adhesive. And on the subject of affecting adhesive, we know two things that affect adhesive the most, and that's oil and silicone. And so you just want to really look after your tapes. It's like anything. It's like lashes or nails. If you follow the do's and don'ts card, you're going to have a really good experience and maximize your product usage. Let's see. When you're sleeping, if you can grab the hair into a loose braid, if you can share that with your guests, never go to bed with it wet and grab it into a loose braid, it's going to extend the life of their extensions. Sleep on a silk pillowcase. We love that one. And be gentle when handling your extensions. Again, common sense. Just look after them, you know. Now, what we don't want to do, we don't want to apply conditioner onto the root area where they're attached. And again, it's just because any conditioner can break down the adhesive faster than if you didn't pop it near the adhesive area. So high mids to ends is what we say with conditioner. Don't use any products that contain oil sulfates or strong proteins, high alcohol or plexes. Don't sleep on wet hair. Don't rub the hair while drying or blow waving. Don't colour, bleach, perm or chemically straighten. And we chatted about the heat. And we want to avoid the hair coming into contact with sunscreen because that can change the colour of your extensions. So these are all the really important things that they know. And you'll notice in there we mentioned, like, please don't wash your hair for 72 hours following your Showpony tape install. And that's because it does take those 3 days for the adhesive to really cure, I think is a good way to put it. And so, no, like, you don't want it wet. So avoid high sweat, don't wash it under water, don't shampoo or condition. We just want to leave it alone and let it settle for 2 to 3 days. You'll also notice at the bottom here, we're recommending when you return. Now, this is not a product that you can pop in and leave. We know that. So in the consultation process, you're determining if the product and the guest are a good match. And so if you've gotten to this point where you're handing them a do's and don'ts card, then I hope that you've already gone down that road and they understand they've got to come back between 4, 5 and 6 weeks. All righty. Now, the next slide is about our shampoo conditioner. We don't sell a lot of shampoo conditioners, and what I like about that is they're created for a purpose. And the way I like to put this is they create longevity in the product for a myriad of reasons. They make the product last longer. And that's why you want to send that home with your guests. You want them to be set up for success at home and understand that it's an important part of looking after them. We say our hair extensions can last 6 to 12 months if they're looked after. But on the ground knowledge is I can immediately think of loads of people that have said, well, mine are 18 months old. And so I think that definitely feeds into our sustainability pillar because we want the hair to be reused and to last. But our shampoo and conditioner doesn't just look after the hair, but it looks after the bonds as well. So it helps reduce shedding, and it keeps, I guess, the amount of hair that arrived on the first day of install, it keeps it intact there for many months down the track. We also have a litre version of both of those products for the back bar. Now, they're the products you use for the guests that are coming in for blow waves, in between their refits. That's for that. We have one last product, which is our Showpony Deep Cleansing Shampoo. And that is the product that you always use for first-time installs and following refits, okay? When we do refits or installations, we only use the Showpony Deep Cleansing Shampoo 2 to 3 times. We don't use conditioner. And we blow wave the hair into natural fall just to keep the profile really flat. And then we straighten with very small sections starting from the nape, 1 centimetre apart. And we straighten the whole head in that way to control flyaways. What this does is make your installation time faster and probably more enjoyable because you're not grappling with those flyaways. So that's kind of the product and the hair type thing. But what if we chat for a little minute about our placement? Now, our placement sheets are the absolute cornerstone to not just safe premium installs, but also streamlined removal processes. And inside our educations, we dive into what that looks like. But suffice to say, this is great for you just to look at and see what we call a full head horizontal placement. Now, with Showpony, because we're always focusing on safety, these placement positions were researched and developed. We use generally a 2-finger rule in between each of our sections, and also a 2-finger in from the nape, 2 fingers up from the hairline, in from the front hairline, above the ear. It's 2 fingers everywhere, pretty much, unless you have some density concerns through the front and the back, then you might go to 3 fingers in those not so dense areas, and that's where you start installing. And what we've learned about that is there's a reduction in matting, right? But not only that, there is also it's almost impossible for you to see the install. So all of these measurements take care of visibility as well. So that's important to note. We have 2 pillars of education with Showpony. We call our first pillar essential educations, and that's where we learn all the basics. And then the other pillar is creative. Now, inside the creative tape pillar of these educations, we learn how to successfully break a few of these rules to really dive in and create a bespoke application for your guest. So as much as we're very big on structure and process, we're also very big on creativity, but we just believe you've got to know how to break the rules. So you've got to know the rules before you can break them safely to then do some creative stuff. So I just want you to know that even though you're looking at a basic placement structure here, we've got loads of creative room inside there to do some cool stuff. Now, the other thing I think is really important to mention is our tapes always touch. So you can look at these placement sheets. Can you see there's a gap in between of those tapes? That's just to let you know easily how many tapes are there. But what we're saying is when they're on scalp, they always touch. Now, we do that again for a safety reason and organisation as well. But if you can imagine a single object just moving freely, right? A single piece of tape or a sandwich of tape growing down, starts to move and flip more. But when you have two tapes touching and then they start moving together, there's kind of less velocity in that. And so having your tapes touch helps control the movement as well. And of course, it avoids channels. So if you've got a gap between your tapes, you're definitely going to have some kind of channeling with the hair drop. Important to note. And just out of, just for the sake of conversation, here we are again with a full head, but this is our diagonal placement. We keep both the back on the horizontal and diagonal placements. You'll notice horizontal, and that's because we're honouring natural fall back there. You can see though the diagonal, we're definitely looking at a 45-degree angle placement. Okay. Now, where are we going to go? Oh, yeah. So we're kind of heading towards the end of our chat today, and I'm really hoping that we've got some questions in our chat box. If not, this is recorded, so it's going to be delivered on other platforms, and so feel free to reach out and ask questions there as well. But I think it's really important for you to understand as hairdressers and business owners that we are here to support and partner and champion what you do. It is not just about selling you products and then we're out of here. Much as like what Unwritten is doing with this collaboration, we are in full support of, because the way Unwritten is that there's so much support in there. So they're getting support from us in this cute little starter package you're about to see. But before we do that, I do just want to touch on the way that we grow your business is not rocket science, right? It's more clients because you're starting to attract a new kind of clientele, but more visits, because from a safety point of view, remember, we insist that they do not come back past 6 weeks. And then more spend per service, and that all makes sense. But what I want to share with you is a couple of cool things that we do. This is one of our business models, and it's called 6 Steps to Success. And in here, we've created 6, I guess, pillars or frameworks. We've done the hard work, so you don't have to think too much. But these are the pillars. Get used to understanding that Showpony Hair Extensions is a hero service. It's super special. And what that means is you want to have that at every touch point, like website, front desk, retail shelves, on and on. Become an expert. We want you to get educated, not only with us, but also your skill, your own craft. Consultation is massive with Showpony. So we've got consultation forms that are provided to you in our online education, which if any of you are curious about, I can give extra info to Marnie on that. And I'm sure we can work out a coupon code for Unwritten that reduces all of our educations right down to $4.99 or something.
That's great. That would be good.
Would that be good? Great. I love hearing that. Number 4, stock on hand. I love this conversation. It's different with every salon. We're not a colour company. We're not saying you you buy an opening order and you have every stock on hand, every colour in your stock on your shelves. It's more like choose your 3 most popular SKUs, for example, right? Your 3 most popular colours, have them on your shelf and work from there. Other salons, they might buy the whole range. Other salons order as they need it. So it's tailored to you as a business. We chat on internal incentives on how to grow your team's enthusiasm and also how to get social. The next business module, this is my favourite. Pricing for profit. My God, this is a game changer. So not only can you learn how to install, right, with our education, but also we teach you how to price this out to ensure that you're getting a profit. And so I'm going to chat with Marmy as well about, you know, how to get these to you in a way that's efficient through Unwritten. Because these modules that I'm showing you are all free. When you are a Showpony customer, they're all free. So dive in. The last thing I want to chat on as far as what we can give you is we've got a fantastic social media business kit that opens up in Canva. So Marmy, that might be really helpful for everyone too. It's a template of about 40 templates. You can use the images we've got in there, of course, but you can swap them out. There's befores and afters, testimonial templates, price teaser templates, everything in there, I think that would really get you started. Yeah, I just wanted to touch on that with you. And we've had lots of fantastic responses from salons that really, you know, love how we're on board with them. Now, this is the Slimline and Skin Tape Starter Kit from Unwritten. We have helped them formalize what this looks like. And so this is available through the Unwritten app for $434.24. Is that right, Marmy? Did I get it right?
Yes, you did. Thank you very much. Yes, $434.24, obviously including GST. And what you see in that image there, thank you, Stephie, is what you get in the kit. So, Stephie, should I quickly run through the list of what is contained in the kit?
I love that. Yes.
So yeah. Oh, sorry. Do you want to do it?
You
or
go.
I do it?
Yeah.
So as you can see, there's the gorgeous color swatch book, and it does contain the swatches of the Slimline and Skin Tape. We also have the basin size 1 litre deep cleanse shampoo. There is also the residue remover. There is the single-sided tape, 60 pieces, and as Stephie mentioned, that's a lot of pieces, so it will last you quite some time, which is fantastic. There is also the replacement tape sheets, again, 60 pieces. There is also the tape remover. You have the super strength tape sheet. So listening to Stephie talk about if you have the kind of troublesome slippage, it's great to know you've got that there on hand just in case. And then you also receive one of each of the take-home shampoo and conditioner. So it's the hair extension maintenance shampoo, the strength and shine conditioner. So that is a really good, fantastic, small starter kit, and $434.24, including GST. And that will be available in the wholesale shop in your Unwritten app very soon. So that's exciting.
It is, Mummy, and I love that Unwritten has put together an affordable package. Yeah, to get you started. You know, yes, there's loads of other cool things that you can add in down the track, but suffice to say, this is going to get you up and running. And like I mentioned, I'll work out how to create that coupon code and get it to Marmy so you can start getting into some online education for yourself and deciding if you want in-salon education on top of that as well. It's very handy to have. So we'll sort that out, Marmy.
That would be good. Thank you.
And just a little bit of housekeeping, of course, here at Showpony, we love you to follow us, not just for the sake of it, but Showpony Hair Extensions, that's our global account. I like to look at that one as, well, they're both global, but I like to look at that one as inspirational, very inspirational. And then Showpony Education, also inspirational, slightly smaller account, has an educational slant. And then if you want to follow me, it's Stephie.Showpony on Insta. And you got a direct line there to some educational questions if you want to reach out to me. We also have a Facebook group called Showpony Hair Extension and Education. So I think that's about 600 members strong, all professional members. So yeah. Marmy, on behalf of Showpony, I want to thank you guys for having us along. We're absolutely thrilled to have just shared this time with you guys. So yeah, thank you, Marmy. Thank you, Unwritten.
Oh, no, gosh, thank you to you, Stephie, and obviously Jemima, who I've been, both Rob and I have been liaising with as well, who then directed, you know, yourself to us. So we really appreciate you putting time aside from your busy Monday. And look, when it comes to partner brand education, we every 3 to 4 months we do like to do a nice kind of rotation from all the partner brands again. And depending on obviously how everybody has evolved with Showpony through Unwritten, what kind of questions do I get, because I'm the customer facing person, and obviously I'm a hairdresser myself too. So as the next few months rolls by, and if there's the same kind of question, I purchased Showpony through Unwritten, I've started using this, and I have some other questions, then we will evolve and adapt the next education session to the way that the Unwritten community have been using Showpony, or questions I've been asking. So watch this space, head to the Facebook group. All of our events are in a Facebook page. You've also got the video link to connect, a little bit of information, who will be educating, just like what we did today with Stephie. So thank you so much. Now, the replay of this recording will be up on our YouTube channel. It's called Unwritten Indie. I'll also be putting that YouTube link as a post shortly after this video is being processed, so that everyone can watch it if you haven't been able to attend. So thank you once again, Stephie.
Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
See everybody.